South Carolina travels to the Swamp to play number 3 Florida. Here we are. Today is Friday, October 2nd. Let's make sure that's right. It is October 2nd, 2020. We're here with our South Carolina versus Florida game prediction like we do every week.
Yes.
Fridays, we predict our South Carolina game. I'm a South Carolina fan. And starting the 24th, my friend will finally be able to predict his Boise State games. But until then, sticking with our South Carolina. So, just a little brief information about the series. Florida leads the series overall 28-9 with 3 ties.
Yeah.
We're 5-5 against Florida in the last 10. The bad thing is we're playing in the Swamp. We South Carolina are 2-15 in the Swamp. That's not good. The last time we went to the Swamp, let's take a look, shall we? We blew a 31-17 lead, lost 35-31.
True.
That sucked big time. And last year, 38-27 was the final score. The refs can account for 14 of those points, take those away, and we win the game. But overall, I mean, since 2014 also was the last time Will Muschamp coached at Florida.
Yes.
Spurrier, we knocked him off 23-20. There goes Coach Boone. They did the right thing. Look where they're at now. They're sitting at number 3. What are we sitting at? Not number 3. But overall, since 2014, Florida has beaten South Carolina 24-14 in 2015, 20-7 in 2016. Then we won 28-20 in 17, and then we've lost the previous 2 years. Scores I've already mentioned. But the games outside of that 20-7, the games have not been blowouts. Florida opens up at 18.5 points. I think it dropped down to 17.5, but still, they're big on Florida. And I'll say Florida's offense is good. Their defense is good.
Yes.
But that's it. Florida's offense has pieces to be elite, but I don't think they are because of the offensive line. And they gave up 600 yards on offense to Ole Miss.
Yeah.
They also put up 600 yards of offense to Ole Miss. But everyone focuses on the ranked team that put up a few more yards, just like a couple years back when South Carolina, Jake Bentley threw for 500 yards against Clemson, but all they could talk about is Clemson's offense, Clemson's offense. Okay, we get it. But, we did pretty good too, so give us credit. But the offensive line had really nothing to worry about against Ole Miss because the Ole Miss's defense wasn't going to do anything.
Yeah.
Sorry, it's just not. Until Lane Kiffin's going and they bring in a defensive-minded head coach, their defense ain't going to be. They're just not going to be shit. I'll just say that.
It's going to be terrible.
I think we have a better defense. I definitely think we have a better defensive line. We need to find a way to pressure the quarterback, and I think we will. After one game, I think we should see a little more Jordan Burch on the field because he played outstanding. We need Kingsley Enagbare to have another big game. Zach Pickens is coming along. He looked great in game 1. Jabari Ellis, who all they've talked about all season was Jabari Ellis looks like the best defensive tackle. No, he didn't. Aaron Sterling played fine, but our secondary and Florida secondary were both absolute garbage last week, and they both have to play better. Hopefully Florida's doesn't. But our secondary has to play better. I know Mukwamu, according to Muschamp, is going to play. I'm not too confident in that. So John Dixon and Cam Smith have got to have a better game. John Dixon didn't play terribly, but Cam Smith, he had a bad game. It's going to happen. Got to move forward. Got to play better. But if we can get more pressure on the quarterback, that'll help. But Kyle Trask is a crafty quarterback. He's good. He's not a dual threat. He's not going to beat you, but he can keep plays alive. He can create plays. And if we break down, he'll torch our secondary. And we cannot allow that. But the main thing South Carolina has to do,
Your offensive line.
We've got to move the ball. We've got to establish a run game because I did not write this stat down, and I wish I would have. The last, I think, 4 or 5 times we've played Florida, I think we've averaged almost 200 yards a game. I did see a stat that Mon Denson graduated last year. He's no longer with us. In 3 games, or in 2 or 3 games against Florida, he had over 300 yards rushing, 3 touchdowns on like 30-some carries. Like, we've ran the ball well, but we've got to continue to run the ball well. We have to run the ball well. We have to pick up first downs, and we've got to find ways to create some explosive plays and see if this Florida secondary is as bad as Ole Miss made it look. Now, of course, Lane Kiffin, brilliant offensive mind. There's a reason he still has a job.
Yes.
But he's gonna find ways to do that because that's what his primary focus is. We've got to make sure our defense can stop this Florida offense, but we also got to make sure, because we managed the clock against Tennessee. We converted 6 of 13, I think, on third down.
Yes.
Tennessee only converted once, and we still lost. So that brings up the next point. We cannot turn the ball over. And we haven't really forced a lot of turnovers against Florida. We need to find a way to have last year when we played the number 3 team on the road, that was Georgia. +4 in turnovers. We got to find a way to do something like that again. Because if our offense can perform the way they performed last week, but our defense can play well and create some turnovers and we eliminate these turnovers, I mean, I'm sorry, I'm not sitting here looking at Florida thinking they're going to beat us by 20. I just don't. But I still,
So
I mean, look at
in your opinion.
a gentleman on Twitter today posted something fun. He said, let's not forget who the real competition is in the game, and he made a joke about the referees. I think our biggest competition is on our sideline, and he goes by Coach Boone. So get the fuck out of your seats. Spurs up. Yeah, Coach Boone. He has been a hindrance to us. We are, I think, only 2 wins. I mean, we're terrible against top 25
Yes, he's
opponents.
strong.
We've been terrible against the SEC lately. And I just don't want to see it. But let's at least see some competitiveness. As much as I want to see South Carolina win the game, I'm just going to go ahead and drop my prediction. I don't think we do because it is a Will Muschamp coach South Carolina team in the swamp. So I've got Florida taking this game 38-27. But at least South Carolina covers the spread.
Let's see. Well, don't forget about your special teams that you messed up last week. I mean, we gotta see every option. And I mean, Ole Miss
The goal is to keep special teams off the field.
Don't bring those guys.
Let's
And
just
I mean, you were
try to
cool with you
eliminate
guys.
that.
You know, you had like a David Hester, but we know that ain't gonna happen to you guys. One day, you never know. One day. You got some really good points there, my man. Got some really good points. You know, I feel like Florida's still not ready for to be like in the top 5 yet. After everybody comes back, this is you know what? I'm just going balls out. South Carolina's gonna win, but like the spread won't be covered. But I know they're gonna win.
South Carolina will cover the spread if they win.
Yeah, they will cover the spread. It's gonna be a rough
what's your
game.
prediction of the score?
I think that's gonna be like, I don't know, like I'm gonna go 30-27. They're gonna win by 3. It's gonna be a rough game.
I would take it. I would take a 3-2 win. I don't care.
The
I would
quarterback
just win and play well.
It's like the quarterback from Florida.
Kyle Trask.
Kyle Trask. There you go. He shows so much potential. The only bad thing I saw with Hill is that he got too much pressures because his O-line didn't gave him the time for he can make good plays.
they were bad.
The O-line of South Carolina is complete butt cheeks. That game. I mean, everyone can have a day off. Anyone can have a day off. But anyways,
all right. So you
I'm going with South Carolina.
I think South Carolina can win this
because
game. I'm not sitting here. I do not think Florida is going to win the SEC. I do not think they're going to win a national championship. They're just not. They're not an elite team. I wouldn't be surprised if by the end of the season, people are back on, Dan Mullen, right for the job. Florida not ready because everybody's already on the fucking Florida bandwagon, and it's just not. They're not there. And the South Carolina game, in my opinion, over the past few years has proven that because, knock on wood, hopefully this isn't the year that. I mean, they haven't just come out and abolished us. And I don't care. Last year, sitting there watching the game, they're just, Florida's so great. And it's like, no. If it was not for the referees tugging on some of that Florida peen, they would not have beat us.
That's it.
And the score, even if they did manage to win, they would not. The score, losing by, almost 2 touchdowns, that does not justify that game last year. It just doesn't. And that's the way I've seen Florida over the past few years. I really don't even think they're ready to dethrone Georgia, even with Georgia having a terrible quarterback situation this year. I just don't see it.
Well, like the issue for me is right now, like let's say Ole Miss having this is the first year with the new head coach, right?
Yes.
Okay, so that's the issue with me. When Ole Miss actually,
it's not an issue because you got Lane Kiffin coming in, who's brilliant on the offensive side of the ball. Who has those quarterbacks can honestly play anywhere, and you've got some receivers. Like you can manage to come up with stuff. But yeah, the secondary of Florida, there's no DBU. They were horrible.
They were horrible.
They were horrible. And the fact that you're able to put up 30-some points against Florida, that's I heard a comparison to LSU. Talking about last year, their offense was elite and the defense didn't. No, I'm sorry. This is not 2019's LSU. This Florida team's not that good. I'm sorry.
Like I said, anyone can have a good day, especially in the quarterback spot. One game you can be throwing for 300 yards, 3 or 4 touchdowns, no interceptions, and then the next week you crap the bed. And like I said, Ole Miss, bad defense. The only reason you beat Ole Miss is because of the defense. So I'm going with South Carolina. They're going to cover the spread.
I'm going both out. As well.
So the only reason I feel like they're going to win because I feel like Florida is going to choke home.
Let's hope that happens. All right. If anyone's stuck around, be sure to let us know what you think the final outcome of the game will be tomorrow. And we'll probably be doing some. We'll probably be active on Twitter tomorrow, like we always are on Saturdays. Florida fans, no offense. Hope you lose, but best of luck to you. Hopefully, no players get injured. I don't want anybody's players to get injured. But that's it for today, guys. Be sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel if you enjoyed it. And we post Mondays, Wednesdays, Fridays. That's when we post on this channel. Occasionally coming up doing some rant videos if there's need be. But that's pretty much it. But until next time, peace out, ladies and gentlemen.